Would you leave this beautiful situation you're in Milan a year before the World Cup in what could be the most important year of your career to go and switch into a new style, a new team, a new identity, and lose all those relationships and lose the familiarity you have with the fans, with the coach, with your teammates? Hell no. You're not leaving that.
Look, I
Like,
know it's a tough
I,
subject, but the one thing
would,
that would change your mind is, somebody offers you 3 times the amount of money you're making now. It's so hard, man.
I don't know if you've ever heard of Calcio Mercado. For anybody out there, Calcio Mercado is reporting that Christian Pulisic is rumored, or let's say these massive clubs are rumored to be interested in Christian Pulisic and maybe preparing a bid. They see his value shooting back up to where it once was. Manchester United, Liverpool, West Ham, all interested. Are you surprised? And would one of those clubs be a good fit for Christian?
Well, Manchester United, they've been using Rashford on the right, but Rashford typically on the left-hand side.
And
Well,
remember,
I would say
it's going to change things.
The one thing that you can say, if it's Manchester United, Amorim just comes there, right? So if he's the guy that wants to bring Christian Pulisic there, it's for a reason, right? It would be look. I think it would be a criminal to move right now based on the way things are going. But of course, Serie A teams don't have the money that some of these other teams in Europe have, especially Premier League teams. So I don't know what his number would be, but would it have to be big, and it would have to be
Let's say
something
70 million. 70 million are they selling him?
We did that once already, right? Wasn't he 70 million at Chelsea?
Yeah, let's say one of those
70 million.
Is Milan selling him?
70 million is a big number because they're not selling Leao now. They thought they were going to sell Leao for 110 million a year and a half ago, and they didn't do it. They were crazy not to, and now they're paying the price. You see, Serie A teams, they just, if you got a guy that's how many 70 million dollar players? Look at what's his name, Osimhen, right? What were they talking about him? They couldn't get the money that they wanted for him. They're a little bit inflated. Who are the other teams you said? West Ham is a little bit of an issue right now, right?
Liverpool with Arne Slot. So you know that
again,
if that happens, Arne Slot would watch him.
But right.
But
who's there? Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz is on the left, right? So where does he go?
Why?
That's a tough one.
Yeah. So one thing here is, if you're Christian, you're never leaving in January. That's out of the question. If you're leaving, it'd be summer where you get a fresh preseason. You're starting. The other component to this is, would you leave this beautiful situation you're in Milan a year before the World Cup in what could be the most important year of your career to go and switch into a new style, a new team, a new identity, and lose all those relationships and lose the familiarity you have with the fans, with the coach, with your teammates? Hell no. You're not leaving that.
Look, I know it's a tough subject, but the one thing that would change your mind is, somebody offers you 3 times the amount of money you're making now. It's so hard, man.
But I'll throw this in. You think you're not going to get that at the back? So let's say after the World Cup, you think MLS isn't going to come?
You can get even more.
You think Saudi Arabia is not going to come with that? I just think.
I just know Milan's financial situation is not great, man. We couldn't buy anybody. I think the listeners know, and you know, because we've had this. There's one player I don't want to lose in Milan. The rest of them, they can go Hernandez and Leao. They can get rid of all of them if they want. We'll keep a couple. But yeah, Christian Pulisic is the one guy I don't want to see go. But I've said a million times, I would never begrudge anybody to make a move for money, right? Because we don't live in those shoes. So
you're not leaving Milan to go to West Ham. So let's put that out. That's out of the question. If you're looking at Manchester United with the club project, Amorim, and obviously you're going to have a conversation with Ruben Amorim and say, how do I fit into the picture? Where do you see me playing? And if it's convincing enough, that's a strong pull. Manchester United, that's always going to turn your head. The interest from them, especially if they're willing to pay the transfer fee. You're looking at Liverpool, Arne Slot. Is he going to play over Luis Diaz? No. Is he going to play over Mo Salah? No, but Mo Salah could be leaving after this year. This could be his last season, and he leaves to go to Saudi Arabia or to another club, or he loves it so much that he resigns. So then that's out of the question, right? And then you're throwing in Cody Gakpo, who you could argue maybe should deserve to play, or it's just another big talent that's in a position that you play. So I don't think Liverpool is the right spot for him either. But if you told me, okay, he can go to Liverpool, Real Madrid. So like Brahim Diaz, who did what Christian did, right, at Milan, and goes to Real Madrid to be a backup.
He was on loan at Milan. Yeah, he was on loan there.
Would you go back? Would you take that chance to go to a big club like that, just to even be in that situation and getting minutes but not starting consistently? That's the only one situation where I say, okay, you're going to a club like that, you can't turn it down. I know how much you want to play in Milan and get the consistent playing time, and you're thriving. But if a club like that comes for you, you can't turn it down. Plus, you're making 3 times your salary. I understand. I would understand.
Just get this. Yeah, I get the sense right now that Christian Pulisic would hate to go back to a position where he's not on the team sheet every single week, because he just looks like he's having fun right now. And there were a couple of years in listening to him, and I did that interview for CBS with him a while back, got to talk to him. He talked about how hard it was, right, and how it was killing him. I get the sense that he will stick around for another year or two. But the club is a different story. Milan's a different story, man. I don't see them turning I don't see them turning down like 70, 80 million dollars, because I don't think that they can. I don't think they're in a position. If you're Real Madrid, you turn down 80 million, it's like nothing. If you're PSG, it's nothing, right? But Milan is a completely different story.
Even if Milan accepts the bid, he doesn't have to take it. That's the thing. It's not like,
depends on what's in his contract. I mean, he might have something in this that has some kind of clause that says he has to take it. I mean, who's to say? We don't know what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
Believe me, I'd be in my room crying for a couple days. Right? Yeah. I'd be in my room under the covers, under the pillows, just bawling my eyes out for a couple, because it's been so much fun to watch two Americans every week, and the team that I support. Like, look, this doesn't happen. It hasn't happened in our life. You just talked about, we're gonna have potentially 4 Americans at Milan and Juventus playing. Like, it doesn't happen all the time, and it would kill me for sure. I'd have to get those 2 jerseys he sent me, wherever they are, in here somewhere. Yeah, I wouldn't be happy. I'd give them to you, those 2 jerseys, when I was done.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, if 70 million came in, they would take it. I'm not sure if Christian would go. But I see some comments in the chat. Christian doesn't have the physicality to survive in the Prem. It's too. Do we remember when he was cooking Liverpool in the Prem? He's already shown he can thrive in the Prem. He needs to play his position and be trusted by the manager like he is in Milan. But we all know Christian can take his game to another level, which is incredible, and I'm happy that he found a spot that he's thriving.
I don't know how you think about. I don't know how you equate what happened 5 years ago or 3 years ago to like what could happen a year from now, especially when what is he, 25 or 26? You're going from like you're 22, 23 to now you're a grown man and you're got a couple more years of experience. It's not as if Italy's not a physical league. It's a very physical league. But then some players learn, okay, physicality's not my game. There's times where he still gets bumped around a little bit, right? And that just happens. But you got to now you just had 2 or 3 more years to figure out how to deal with the fact that you're not the strongest guy on the field, but you can do other things to be successful, right? And that's part of growing. That's part of becoming a better player. I wouldn't discount it, but the teams that you brought up, for me, the one that makes the most sense is Manchester United. Problem is, you're not going to be in Champions League probably next year, and who knows what's going to happen the following year, right? At least now you're playing in Champions League. You're playing every week.
Unless they win Europa League.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a different story.
That's their one ticket. It's Tottenham and Man United. I feel like that's their ticket to get into Champions League at this point.
Yeah.